Hello and welcome to Microsoft Hates Greg. My name is Greg Deckler, and today we're going to be trying to determine how many people are actually creating things in Microsoft Fabric and how many organizations are actually really using Microsoft Fabric. All right, this came out of doing the forum post analysis and all of the forums analysis that I did recently. Posted a video on it. Um, I started thinking maybe I can use this data and these statistics to try to, estimate how many actual Fabric users there are, people actually creating things within Microsoft Fabric, and then how many of the organizations there are, right? So as a first go around with this, we can use Microsoft's own statements around this, right? So back in May of 2025, I put this spreadsheet together to try to keep all my thoughts organized. They announced that there were over 21,000 organizations using Microsoft Fabric. This is May 2025, and now that was probably like 20,001, right? Because Microsoft marketing. But fine, they announced that there's 21,000 people, organizations using Microsoft Fabric. Now, are we going to take that at face value? Absolutely not. That's a bullshit number, right? We all know this, right? Because 70% of former Power BI premium customers, right, probably, that number probably includes, is probably 70% of it is just Power BI premium customers, okay? And I got some notes here, right? And this is because Microsoft forced people that were on Power BI premium to go to F SKUs, right? Off the P SKUs and on to F SKUs on June 30th, 2024, right? So anybody that was not on an EA that had Power BI Premium SKU, they were forced to go to an F SKU when their reservation ran out, right? Or if they were doing pay as you go, they basically had to switch almost immediately, right? So then there's the people that are on 3-year EAs, right? So maximum where every one of those P SKUs is converted to an F SKU would be June 30th, 2027. So next year, mid next year. And I estimate that there's probably about 30,000 P SKU companies, right? Total 25 to 30,000, somewhere in that ballpark range. So now a lot of those customers, like for example, I've covered this in earlier videos. I can't think of a single one of my Power BI customers like that had Power BI and were forced to go to FSKU that have actually really doing anything in Fabric right now. So the vast majority probably aren't. So if we take it that 70% of this number is just Power BI premium customers that aren't really doing anything in Fabric, right? We get a number of actual Fabric users, organizations of 6,300. That's where this number comes from. All right, so that's kind of like my baseline value that we're going to use. So then let's talk about the forum posts. So when I looked at the forum posts, I kept noticing a pattern where it was like everything Power BI was like 10x in terms of Fabric, like number of posts, 10x, number of active users seemed to be about 10x. It was always this 10x ratio. So I'm like, I wonder if we can take Microsoft's published numbers around how many Power BI users they have and work that back into how many Fabric users and creators there are, which then I can get to a number of organizations. So I went down that path. So there's 35 million Power BI users. That's what Microsoft reports. Now, 15% of a reporting community. And this is based around like Tableau published statistics on this, and there's been some other studies done on this, but it's about 15% of a total user population. The reporting are people that actually create stuff. All right. So that's where this 15% number comes from. So that leaves us with 5,250,000 Power BI report creators, if you will. Now, if we go with a 10-to-1 Power BI versus Fabric ratio, that gives us 525,000 Fabric creators. If we go with 7 creators per org, where does this number come from? A lot of research, a lot of different ways of kind of backing into this number. And that the number I actually came up with was 8. And then I decided, well, let's be a little more generous to Fabric, and we'll go with 7, right? Try to always push things in Fabric's favor, like when we can. And then came up with a number of 75,000 organizations, which is totally bogus. We all know that not even Microsoft is claiming they have 75,000 people in Microsoft Fabric, right? Or organizations, right? So I think this route was basically a bust, right? So decided to go a different route and go like, well, can we analyze like unique users in the different forums that are out there? So the r/Microsoft Fabric, the Microsoft Fabric Discord server, the community forums, and all of that. So that came up doing analysis on that, and that was like, for instance, this. So this is only through like August of 20 or September of 2024, but I came up with 1,600, 30 some unique users that were on all of the different Fabric forums that were out there at the time, right? So and getting the numbers from Microsoft r/Microsoft Fabric was really easy. We can use Arctic Shift and that sort of stuff for those kind of things. So this is the number I came up with. So 3,847 unique people posting on r/Microsoft Fabric. There are 2,600 members of the Fabric Discord server. There's 1,630 or so community forums, unique individuals posting in the community forums. So that's where these numbers are now. Something you have to note, the 2,600 Fabric Discord users, those aren't people posting. Not all those are just the members of the server. I didn't really have a good way to collect like who was actually posting on it. So that's a gross overestimate, or I guess you could say, of people actually posting in the community. And again, I'm using posting in the community for, I'll get to that in a second here, but that was the idea. All right, so if we just keep this number as is, and then we use the 99-1 participation rule, right? Plus additional research, right? But the 99 participation rule, if you're not familiar with it, basically within a social community, 90% of the people are just there for information. They're just reading, they're lurking, if you will. 9% will be people that occasionally post or participate, and then 1% are like, those are your heavy people that are, driving the community and driving most of the content in the community, et cetera. So we use the 99-1 participation rule with a few adjustments. I decided to go with 95% are not participating, right, on Fabric, which would give us 161,540 like people actually doing something with Microsoft Fabric, and there you go. But this is over, like, these forums and all of this stuff are over a 3-year period, right? So how many people abandoned Microsoft Fabric after they tried it? They tried, they asked some questions in the forums and they're like, this isn't working for me, right? It's not 100, it's not retention, it's not 100%, right? So I went with a 33% retention rate, which I think is generous, in terms of, so for every 3 people that tried Fabric over the last 3 years, probably, at least one of them, probably, maybe not, but probably one of them continued on as doing Fabric right now. The other 2 kind of fell off, or they were just kicking the tires, or maybe they were just somebody that got a certification and posted that, hey, I got certified in Microsoft Fabric, can anybody get me a job? That kind of stuff. All right, so that leaves us with 53,308 people like actually actively using Fabric. If we go with 7 per organization, again, so that's 7,615 organizations using Fabric, which isn't that far off from 6,300. It's closer than I thought it was going to be in terms of going 2 completely different routes to try to get to the number. Now, I also did this with 90% don't participate, which gives us a much lower figure, 3,808 organizations. Now, if we go with like, okay, this is these forums, which I think are the main forums, right? In Stack Overflow, there's only like 200 or 300 questions on Stack Overflow in Microsoft Fabric. It's not very active at all. So if we like, well, okay, maybe we missed a bunch of stuff. Although I will point out, right, this number right here already assumes that there's no overlap between those 3 communities, which is probably way not the case. Okay. So, but if we double the number and we get to go through the same math or whatever, we can get to 15,231, which I think is way high. But it's probably an upper bound. Let's call it an upper bound. If we go with the 90% participate, we get back to our 7,615 number. Okay, so what does this all tell me? Well, or tell us, I guess you could say. Well, this is what I think. I think 9,000. I think 9,000 is probably the real number of Microsoft Fabric customers today, right? It's probably larger than that 6,300 number, right? Because they've had another year to add additional Fabric users, and probably another third of the Power BI Premium PSKU customers who aren't probably using Fabric, right? So they've been able to add that. So I think it's probably the real number today is around 9,000, which gives you about 63,000 actual people in the entire world, right, that are actually doing something of something useful in Microsoft Fabric. Okay. So that's, if you do the numbers and you do it by the world population, right, divided by 8.2 billion or whatever, you get this number. So in a city of 1 million people, you might have 8 people, right, total in the entire 1 million population that are actually doing something with Microsoft Fabric. So I don't know if that's big enough to form a user group on. I really don't. Probably have to have about 3 times that number, because otherwise you're having like one or two people show up per meeting, right? Okay, so now this 3,000 number. So this is number I think of like large, significant implementations of Microsoft Fabric, right? They're doing stuff like a production data warehouse or lake house, something that, is enterprise level, enterprise grade, right? I'd say it's probably around 3,000, maybe it could be as few as 2,000, 2,500 companies doing real significant stuff within Microsoft Fabric. And then this last number is this 30,000 number. This is the problem. This is the number I keep coming back to with all my research. At its peak, Synapse probably had 25,000 to 30,000 customers in Synapse doing stuff with Synapse, right? So Microsoft Fabric is nowhere close to that number right now, um, in reality, right? And I can speak to this from my own customer base. None of my customers that use Synapse have moved to Fabric. They're all still using Synapse, right? Because it's so much more expensive to do what they'd want to do in Microsoft Fabric, and the migration path is terrible. There's this, and their processes are all just running fine in Synapse, and they have a predictable cost. They know what it costs them. It's very inexpensive. It's one of the reasons why Synapse never got the market share, right? Because things were just inexpensive to run in Synapse, really, because you only truly paid for what you used, period. Um, so there you have it. And I think, and maybe there's people out there to disagree with me on this analysis. Feel free to comment, do your own analysis, come up with your own facts or ways of doing it. Um, Always happy to discuss that kind of stuff. But I mean, if you think about it, and maybe this seems like a low number, like basically, you're one of a million people in your city, and you're like, hello, 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 is anybody out there, using Fabric, 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 right? And it's like a deserted wasteland, right? So it probably seems that way, but I don't think and it's been 3 years, right? Microsoft Fabric has been out, but I don't think that anyone should be that surprised about it. To be honest, if I'm thinking about it, I'm like, well, there's so many organizations that already had their data analytics processes and systems mapped out, and done already, right? They were using Snowflake, they're using Databricks, they're using Synapse, and there's no incentive really for them to just up and migrate everything to Fabric, right? And maybe Fabric, Microsoft convinced a few companies to like go ahead and migrate, but then I'm seeing stories about people like going from Databricks to Fabric back to Databricks, right? So there's just no big push. Why would an organization that has their data analytics platform all figured out suddenly like, oh, Microsoft created this new thing that's unproven and buggy as hell, and let's go, jump headlong first into that. I mean, that doesn't make much sense. And then you have your Power BI customers that are like they bought Power BI and were willing to pay for Power BI for the reporting it provided, and then Microsoft keeps on all these other things on top of it. They don't have any use for it. They probably already have their systems in some other systems, that are Databricks, AWS, Redshift, Google BigQuery, whatever it happens to be. It's already a solved problem, right? There's nothing I don't see, at least, other than, I don't know, just Microsoft talking to the CEO and telling them how great Fabric is and that it's the greatest thing in the world, and then somebody makes a stupid decision. I just don't see the overall compelling reason to just lift and shift all your crap that you've already built, spent years building, and then move it over to Fabric. So honestly, I'm not surprised with this number. This number could be high, in my opinion. I'll be perfectly honest, but I'm always interested to hear what other people have to think. But yeah, if you're out in the Fabric space, you're doing stuff in Fabric, and you feel lonely, maybe this is why. So that's all I had for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.